that one. She's not ordinary, a child of the gods. Let her not fetch firewood. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My name is Fearfully. I am
Omali. In the heart of Umokwe, a village cradled by whispering forests and blessed with a soil that bore more than yams, lived a girl whose beauty could silence an entire drumming festival. Her name was Omali. Omali Chanwa. She had eyes like midnight stars, hips that curved like the sacred river Oji, and skin that shimmered like roasted chestnuts basking under the evening sun. Omali didn't walk, she glided, as though the earth parted just to feel the grace of her footsteps. As the years passed and Omali blossomed, the whispers in the village grew louder, softer, and then reverent. That one? She's not ordinary, a child of the gods. Let her not fetch firewood. Her fingers were not made for splinters. She must not sweep the compound. Let her not ruin those precious fingers. Men came from distant lands, warriors, traders, even chiefs' sons, bearing gold, goats, wrappers from Onisha, perfume from Cotonou, and promises soaked in poetry, all just to behold, or if luck permitted, win her smile. And Omali Chanwa, she knew. One crisp morning, as she stared into the mirror, she whispered to herself with a smirk, "Why would one man eat from a pot that can feed nations? Look at me now. See as I snatch. How would one man want to have all this, all to himself?" She was not just beautiful, but sharp, talented, and quick with her fingers. A skilled tailor, known for stitching magic into every fabric. Then came the twist of fate. On a breezy afternoon, as village fowls pecked lazily in the dust, Dimma, her childhood friend, returned from Lagos. Dimma had once sat beside Omali at their tailoring school in the village, both laughing through threading needles and gossiping about boys. They had both graduated from the same sewing school in the village, where Omali had been the best student in their class. But while Omali stayed back to build a name at the home front, Dimma vanished into the vastness of Lagos, returning now with the polished edges, city style, and an offer. "Omali," she said when she visited, "you don't belong in this village. You belong where your beauty and skill can shake buildings. Come to Lagos. Let's start something real. My outfit is growing. I need someone like you." The thought stirred something in Omali's chest. A life beyond woven mats and moonlight tales. The sound of buses, city lights, tall mirrors, makeup palettes. Not even someone as fearfully and wonderfully made as me should stay hidden, she told herself. She eagerly agreed and collected Dimma's contact details. With blessings from her naive parents and her best clothing neatly folded in her travel bag, Omali was Lagos bound. A new world awaited her, and she was ready to conquer it. When Omali arrived at the motor park in Lagos, the air hit her differently, thick with ambition, noise, and 1,000 untold dreams. She was still adjusting her eyes to the chaos when he appeared, a tall, dark man, swimming in luxury. His wristwatch shimmered like the Lagos lagoon at sunset. His designer shoes whispered wealth. He smelled of imported cologne and promises. He looked like money itself, dressed to the nines and radiating luxury. Everything about him screamed the kind of life Omali had dreamt of. His name was Femi. He approached with calm confidence, smiled at Omali like he had been waiting for her his whole life, and said in a baritone that melted traffic horns, "Hello, angel. You look lost. Need help finding your stars?" Omali blinked. Was this the Lagos she had dreamt of? The city of light? She took one look at Femi's Rolex, another at the SUV parked behind him, and thought, this is the bigger picture. Femi said he was a politician in town to visit a friend in Amuwodofi, but lived in Ikoyi, one of the richest neighborhoods in Lagos. He owned properties, he drove power, and spoke with the casual authority of a man who was used to getting what he wanted. "Let me take you to one of my houses," he offered smoothly. "No pressure, just comfort, class, and a fresh start. What do you say, my lady?" Omali hesitated. She had come for Dimma, her childhood friend, but this was a divine detour. So she turned off the path she had planned to follow and followed Femi instead. When Dimma finally called her later that evening, her voice was filled with concern. Wait, Omali. You followed a stranger? Omali! Haba! Omali, are you mad? This is Lagos, not Umokwe. Ha! But Omali had made up her mind. Femi was not just anyone. He was everything the village hadn't prepared for her. Dimma, disappointed but defeated, wished her well. Femi kept to his promise. He took Omali to a fully furnished duplex in Ikoyi and handed her the keys. The walls smelled of wealth. The wardrobe was already stocked with designer dresses. The fridge was full. The floors were marble, smooth and cold like secrets. The next day, he took her to a luxury car dealer and bought her a brand new SUV. "You deserve only the best," he said, eyes locked on hers, and he meant it. He gave her the latest iPhone, opened a high-end boutique in her name, and enrolled her in one of the top fashion academies in Lagos so she could refine her tailoring skills. Femi wasn't just in love, he was obsessed. Years ago, he had lost his wife and children in a tragic auto crash. Since then, he had lived in an emotional darkness. Omali to him was a light, his resurrection, his second chance. The woman who would give him peace, the woman he would take home to Mama. To him, Omali was a miracle. To him, Omali was his miracle. And Omali Chanwa, she soaked it all in. Her beauty had always opened doors, but now it was building empires. In Ikoyi, she became an urban goddess. Her cocoa brown skin shimmered under the Lagos sun like polished bronze. Her waistline made fashion designers rethink human anatomy. Her waist was so slim, it made tailors curse their measuring tape. Her curves, enough to make traffic wardens forget their whistles. As she walked past the boutiques and cafes of Bodilon Road, men turned, car windows rolled down, and some nearly crashed whilst trying to steal one more glance at her. Omali laughed silently. She knew her power, and Lagos had just handed her the perfect stage. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. See as I snatch now, eh? She whispered one night while staring at herself in the mirror. Why should one man just have all this, eh? Why should one man enjoy all this alone, eh? Don't they know that I am fearfully, eh? Hey. Her eyes twinkled. It wasn't long before Lagos noticed her. One afternoon, at the unisex salon, she met Chief Okonkwo, a rotund business tycoon with deep pockets and shallow loyalty. The moment he saw her, his mouth stayed open, longer than appropriate. His jaw practically hit the floor. "You are stunning," he gasped. Omali simply replied with her usual grace, singing her anthem. "Of course I know. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That's why they call me Fearfully." Chief Okonkwo was smitten. He gifted her a brand new Prado and sent her 2 million naira every Sunday to keep her happy. He called her, "My jewel of Lagos. I want you to always be happy. Just manage this token. You will receive it every Sunday." And he kept to his word because he wanted her to always be happy. But he had one condition: exclusive access. "I want you all to myself," he said. Omali smiled politely and nodded. But the moment she returned home and caught her reflection in the mirror, she whispered, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Why should one man have me all to himself? Why should one man want to have all of this to himself alone? Why should only one man eat from a pot that can feed nations?" And with that, she applied her lip gloss, reapplied her strategy, and opened her heart's gate once more determined to explore new options. At her boutique one sunny afternoon, a tech bro, Obika, walked in, young, wealthy, and clean-cut. He was shopping for his sister, but ended up hypnotized by Omali's beauty. Once he laid eyes on Omali, he forgot why he came. "Please help me choose," he said, but his eyes weren't on the clothes. They were fixed on her, like she was a hologram. Omali, noticing the attention, didn't mind. She encouraged it. She was open to as many connections as nature allowed, as long as they were profitable. Her only rule was never let their paths cross, and she was ready to play the game and to play it smartly. She helped him pick clothes, but his gaze never left her face. She noticed and she allowed it. Obika whisked her to Dubai for a 2-week vacation. He bought her a Tesla, signed her on to a premium skincare brand as their new face, and once whispered to her, "Omali, your smile is the only upgrade I need in life. You make me happy. You make me fulfilled. You are my sunshine, and I never want the sun to go dim. I love you forever. Just be mine alone. I love you." She scheduled the Dubai trip to perfectly align with Femi's political trip to Abuja. She had told Femi, "There's a sewing technique I must master. I can't miss it, so I won't be following you." Femi, ever supportive, encouraged her. Meanwhile, Chief Okonkwo was also out of town on a business trip, a perfect timing for her Dubai trip, where each of these men will never meet or even suspect. In the past, she had accompanied Femi to several high-profile events where they walked the red carpet and were admired by all, much to Femi's pride and satisfaction. He always liked it that she was beside him on such important occasions, and so this was an exception, but he was willing to grant it just for her to succeed, just for her to be happy. Omali Chanwa, she was maximizing her blessing. She was maximizing her beauty. She was exploring, and she was exploring well. Dimma visited her when she returned from Dubai. Dimma was amazed by her friend's success. As Omali showed her around the house, she marveled. It was big. It was tastefully furnished. It was everyone's dream. Her friend was living large, but she was concerned. "Omali," she said, "you are living like a queen." Eyes wide, she continued, "But these men you date, each one of them could give you everything you want. You are lucky that you have such men around you. Why juggle them all? Why don't you choose one and live a fulfilled life?" Omali laughed, tossed her braids, and replied with her now legendary mantra, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Why should one man eat all this pepper soup alone? Haba, Variety, my dear. Don't you know why they say, I am fearfully, Variety is the order of the day. Ha! I am fearfully now. Have you forgotten? She then turned to Dimma and asked playfully, Abi, what is my name? Have you forgotten my name? Oh yeah, what is my name? Dimma sighed and answered fearfully, that is your name. Help me, Joe. See how you're even saying it. Dimma laughed and obeyed. Fearfully, fearfully, fearfully. My friend, fearfully. One unsuspecting evening, Omali decided to walk to a nearby supermarket. No driver, no Prado, just her and the streets. At the estate gate, she met a quiet-looking man. No flash, no escort, but he had something more. Peace. He smiled and said, Hello, can I walk with you? There was something about his voice, warm and calming. She said yes. All the way to the supermarket, she laughed like a schoolgirl. His name was Kola, a web designer in town. He was visiting his uncle who owned a house in the estate. After introducing himself, Kola asked her, And you? What about you? Omali, ever dramatic, began. My name is Fearfully. Fearfully? Kola raised a brow. As in, something scary? Something I should run from? Okay, should I run? Omali burst into laughter. No, Joe, she giggled. Fearfully and wonderfully made. My name is Omali, but my nickname is Fearfully because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. They both laughed. Kola offered to help promote her business, free of charge. He built her a custom website so people could order her outfits online. He showed up when she was sick, brought her food, and gave her something no one else ever did. A painting of her own, titled Unfiltered. But in her heart, Omali labeled him sweet but broke. She saved the names of her lovers on her phone with precision. For Femi, she saved it as Odogu Major Mugu. For Chief Okonkwo, Odogu Minor Mugu. For Obika, Odogu Small Mugu. For Kola, sweet but broke, no match. One by one they came, and one by one she received them, not as a girlfriend, not as a wife, but as a goddess collecting tributes from her worshippers. Whenever someone asked her about her love life, she would laugh and say, I am the table, the meal and the chef. Why should one man eat all this pepper soup alone? No. Why would one man want to have all of me just to himself? She saw it not as manipulation, but as strategy. They each proposed, and she said yes to every one of them. But even the cleverest weaver sometimes knots her thread. Soon, disaster struck, like hot steel spewing freshly on one white list just minutes before an Owambe party. It was a bright Sunday afternoon when Femi showed up at her gate, grinning like someone who just won a presidential election. Baby, he beamed, handing her a shopping bag with a new Chanel purse. My parents are so happy I found you. They want to meet you tomorrow. Omali forced a smile, lips stretched like a tired rubber band. Inside her heart was doing a backflip. Meet parents, marriage talk? I'm not ready to be owned though. She wasn't ready to be claimed by one man, not even when there were still fishes swimming in Lagos waters, rich, generous fishes. But refusing outrightly could mean saying goodbye to all the goodies from this source, from all the goodies from Femi, the generous giver. That wasn't an option. She wasn't ready to risk that. That was never going to be an option. She agreed, and Femi drove off happily like a very fulfilled man. As he drove off, Omali stood by the gate of her duplex, watching him until he drove towards the estate gate entrance. Suddenly, he slowed and rolled down his windows to chat with another driver. From where she watched, her heart skipped. It was Obika. Obika, as in her other boyfriend Obika. She dashed inside like a rat who just heard a pot fall. Meanwhile, outside, Obika greeted Femi warmly. Bro, you dey come this side? You dey come this estate? Femi chuckled. Yes nah, You remember that my babe wey I tell you? I told you about her now. This is where she stays. Obika raised his brows. The one you said you got my brother Chike, the lawyer, to help transfer a house to? Yes now, that's the one. And tomorrow, guess what? We are going to see my parents. As soon as we are back, your brother will bring the house papers for her to sign off and she will own it officially. I'm gifting her the house. That's her little gift, just a token to show my love for her. Oh boy, bros, I hail you. Obika burst into excitement. Chairman, that's big love oh. In fact, you've inspired me. My babe stays in this estate too. I'll go introduce her to my dad before he travels tomorrow. I wasn't planning to, but inspiration has struck. They exchanged laughs, waved goodbye, and drove off like happy children, both unaware they were in love with the same woman. Back inside, Omali's chest tightened. What could they be discussing? Have they found out? She hadn't even heard the discussion, but something in her spirit whispered, they are talking about you. Minutes later, her phone rang. It was Obika. She faked a sleepy voice, opened the gate slowly and yawned. Hey, you didn't tell me you were coming. I missed you, Obika said, hugging her tightly. I missed you more, she replied, lying, her mind still calculating escape routes. Let's go to the jewelry shop, he said, eyes gleaming. Afterwards, we'll go and visit my dad. He's traveling soon. I want him to meet the woman I want to marry. I want him to meet my jewel before he travels. Omali blinked. Marry? Marry again? In just one day, 2 parents' introductions. This is wahala. But the moment he mentioned diamond jewelry set she had always admired, her eyes widened, her resistance melted like butter under Lagos sun. Of course, baby, she said, flipping her wig. It will be an honor to meet your dad. As she dressed up, her thoughts were chaotic. What is this life, Seth, eh? 1 heart, 2 men, 2 meetings. This must be what they mean by premium tension, oh. Hey, see me, see wahala. Still, she was determined to keep her game tight. She was Omali Chanwa, the Lagos Barbie, the undefeated queen of soft life. They arrived at the luxury jewelers. Obika spared no expense. He bought her earrings, necklaces, bracelets. The full set glittered like stars. Omali almost forgot her own name. She kept picking until she was tired. And Obika paid off all the expenses. As she admired her reflection in the shop's mirror, she giggled. Abeg, let tomorrow come. I'll handle it like I always do. She was now bolder. Her game was still on, and she was still undefeated. Afterwards, they drove to Obika's father's mansion. They entered it and she stepped in like a regal queen, admired by the servants. And when they got inside, Obika said to her warmly, "Feel at home." He handed her a chilled soft drink before settling beside her on the plush couch. The house was regal, soaked in old money and quiet power. As Omali sipped delicately, she felt the lingering eyes of the maids and guards. She had walked in like royalty, and they watched like subjects. She relished every second of it. Then, footsteps came, heavy, purposeful. Obika stood up. "Good afternoon, Dad," he greeted as Chief Okonkwo walked in. Omali looked up. Their eyes met, and in that instant, the drink in her mouth turned sour. Chief Okonkwo froze. His brows rose, slow and steady, like a storm brewing. "Who is she to you?" he asked Obika. "That's Omali," The girl I told you I want to marry, Obika beamed proudly. Fearfully? Chief Okonkwo asked, voice colder now. Yes, Dad, Obika said, chuckling. That's her nickname. I call her that too. But I use her real name for the formal introduction. How come? How come? How do you know her nickname? Silence. Then thunder. Because she's the same woman I told you will soon become your stepmother. We are in a relationship. The room split open. What? You are dating my father? Obika's voice thundered as he jumped to his feet. Omali could not find her voice. Her courage and pride had long fled the moment she saw Chief Okonkwo. She stood up. She stood there, frozen. Her pride, poise, and usual witty replies vanished. I can explain, she stammered, reaching for Obika as a torrent of tears rolled down her face. Explain what? Obika thundered. Let her talk. Let her talk, Chief Okonkwo said calmly, eyes dark with fury. Omali, the floor is yours. Let's hear you. But her silver tongue was now stone. The words couldn't come out. Her throat dried up. Her heart pounded. She stammered, but no words came. She wished the ground could open up and swallow her. The servants whispered silently at the corners. The same people she had been pleased with admiring her beauty now witnessed her shame. At that moment, father and son found nothing beautiful about her. Only rage, only disgust. And Omali, she had arrived in the Prado gifted by Chief Okonkwo. Obika had driven separately right behind her. She had told Obika before they left that she would head for the salon after meeting her father, while he planned to go clubbing. So they drove in separate cars in a convoy. She thought she had the game under control. Now, the hunter had become the hunted. Omani, now panicking, was very frightened. She grabbed her purse and ran to her Prado jeep, zooming off for the gate to exit Chief Okonkwo's house. But Chief Okonkwo's voice cut through the air like a blade. Where does she think she's running to? Lock the gates. She can run with her legs, but not with my car. The guards moved swiftly. The gate clanged shut just before she could escape. Let me have the car keys, Chief Okonkwo demanded. Silently, she handed them over. She watched as everything slipped away like water through trembling fingers. When the gate was finally opened, she ran as fast as she could. Obika was devastated. He had been played. He had been played. Later that evening, Obika, heartbroken, sat alone in a corner at the club, his drink untouched. Femi walked in and noticed him, and as he watched and walked closer to Obika, Obika now took to heavy drinking, taking in the drink all at once in his mouth, as if there were no tomorrow. How far, Obika? Femi asked. As you can see, I'm not fine, bro. My babe ran me street, that babe. That babe, she ran me street. Who? That babe? Femi asked. Femi sat beside him. Is it that your babe? The one in the estate? The one you said you were going to show to your father? What happened? He said. He also consoled him, offering motivational talks as he sat beside him. Just then, Femi's phone rang. Omali's photo popped up on his DP. Obika squinted. Why is my girl's picture on your phone? Which girl? Femi replied. This is my fiancé, the one I'm taking to meet my parents in Ibadan tomorrow. Obika burst into laughter. Save your fuel. Is this not fearfully? Save your fuel. Is this not Omali? You have been played also. Hey, father, Son and friend, wonders shall never end. And this is just the one we know. What about the ones we don't know? A grave silence settled. The music in the club didn't matter anymore. Femi was first stunned, then angry. He felt deeply betrayed. When he picked up the call, he expected tears, remorse, some sign of repentance, considering the ordeal Obika had described. But Omali, she was calm, she was composed, as if nothing had happened. Their rest? Sweetheart, sweetie pie, what time are we going to see your parents tomorrow? She asked sweetly. Femi was done. What level of deceit? How can this girl hide all this in such a short while his friend Obika was here, wallowing in pain? She had already pushed it aside and was willing to attack her next victim. He saw her now as a woman without conscience. Let's leave by 11 a.m., he said. Drive to my house and we'll go together. But something darker brewed in his heart. An extreme case needed extreme measures. The next day, Femi and Obika arrived at Yaki Estate with a plan. Omali stood outside her gate laughing with Kola, the sweet but broke designer who had gifted her the gown she was wearing. She was so engrossed that she did not notice Femi and Obika. Femi stepped out of the car, Obika behind him, as they walked towards she and Kola. This gown looks good on you, Kola said. Finally, you wore the one I got you. After all these days I've been telling you to wear it, you now decided to wear it today. It looks good on you though. It suits your beautiful color and your beautiful shape. I love it on you. Just then, a voice came from behind Omali. Nice gown. It was Femi. It was Femi's voice, carrying weight. Who is he to you? Before Omali could speak, Kola answered, I'm her man. Why? As the moment tightened, her phone rang, and on it was the display, Odogu Minor Mugu. That was what the screen read, and all three men saw it, Femi, Obika and Kola. She picked up and answered, irritated. What more, Chief Okonkwo? What more? You've taken your car. Leave me alone. They all heard it. They became curious. Obika dialed her next, and the screen read, Odogu Small Mugu. Femi dialed, and the screen read, Odogu Major Mugu. Kola, growing curious, also dialed, and the screen read, Sweet but broke, no match. Kola was shattered. Is this what you think of me? He asked. Each man stared at her, hurt, replaced with disgust. I wanted to walk away quietly and leave you to your conscience, but clearly you have none. You could not even give your victim some level of dignity, Femi said. Femi tossed the document at Omali. See, this is a house deed. This was going to be your gift today, until now. Give me the house key, he continued. She handed it over. And the car keys, Femi continued, referring to the SUV. She gave them too. Also, Obika took back the Tesla he had gifted her. Femi cut in. Should I leave the iPhone? No. Give me that too. He collected that. Before leaving, Obika turned back. Remove the shoes and the jewelry you are wearing. Give them to me. He did not even consider that she was in public. Now crying, Omali handed them over. Obika walked away and then came back again. Yanked off the expensive wig. You don't deserve this too. The two men collected everything they had given her. Femi threw her personal effects outside before locking the house. As the two men drove off in their former gifts, Omali turned to Kola. Are you going to take your dress back too? So I know I have been completely stripped in public. The peacock had been humiliated. This time she had no feathers left to hide. Kola approached her quietly. She expected insults, but he said, I knew I wasn't your type. I just gave what I could, but I would never collect it back because love should never be loaned, and what was given in love should never be collected back. Omali dropped to her knees in tears. I'm sorry, Kola. I was foolish. I was blind. I want to be with you. If you would take me back. His eyes were soft but firm. No, Omali, you did not love me, and I deserve someone who truly will. He walked away, the only man who didn't shout, who didn't curse, no drama, just a quiet exit with dignity. And he left the biggest mark. That same day, Omali packed her things. Her eyes were swollen, her face bare, her heart heavy. No cars, no friends, no luxury. She stood at the city bus station with a simple bag and whispered, I played the game and I lost. I was the table, but I forgot the value of one steady chair. Beauty can open doors, but only character keeps you inside. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thank you.
Beauty's my compass, doors swing wide open. The universe bows where my footsteps are woven. The world owes me rhythm, my heart beats the token. I rise unapologetic, no chain left undone.